Hello shredders, I'm Stéphan Forté and today I'm going to give you some tips on how to improve your alternate picking speed. Let's go! So I've recently posted on my Instagram a fact that the best way to improve your playing is to be aware of your flows. And it seems from the replies I've received that the most common thing is I have problems with my right hand and with alternate picking. So I thought it would be nice to show you how I'm practicing this. Tip number 1, be relaxed. So there is a common mistake by thinking that in general when you want to play fast you have to tense up. Actually it's quite the opposite. For that you can check any virtuoso violin player or piano player and you will notice a lot of relaxation in both the left and right hands. So what I suggest is when you first start your practicing session, just pick very lightly. Then try to accelerate, but still being that light. Here, if I would have picked harder, it would give something like this. You can definitely hear by the sound of it. So here I'm helping my wrist with my elbow, but I will explain that later. So first thing, be light with your picking and also with your left hand, that's very important. So left hand, if we for example take one simple lick like this on one string, there is no need for pressing the strings very hard, like you can hear that the sound is not better, if worse. And your stamina is going to be like, you will be dead in like a couple of minutes. So try to really put your fingers on the strings and be very light, like. And when you play it fast, and you can then keep it for way longer period of time. Step number 2, so try to keep your pick kind of loose in between your fingers. You don't need to hold it very strongly, because if you hold it very strongly, that means that you're going to tense up with your arm, because it's not so natural and that's not good, like we've seen in the previous chapter. So this is very important. The other thing which is very, very important is to use the wrist when picking. We can use the elbow and the arm and even the shoulder sometimes at very high speed, but that should be in order to help the wrist and not just to play solely with the arm or with the shoulder or whatever. So I'm going to show you what I mean by this. When you pick, try to lock your wrist on the table here, on the top, and just isolate the wrist from the rest of the arm. The arm should not move at all, at least at moderate speed. You can see that even when I'm speeding up, the motion is becoming smaller, but it's still my wrist playing. Now when I want to push way faster my picking, my elbow is going to help. So for example, but picking wise, it's going to be the same. Not tensing up, just faster, elbow helping, but not tensing up. My left hand is also going to be very relaxed. Step number 3, one of the most difficult thing with alternate picking is, for most of us, at least for me it's the upstroke. So we are generally kind of comfortable with the downstroke, attacking with the downstroke. So for example, if I'm practicing this, I'm kind of comfortable with the down stroke. Now if I have to play this with the upstroke, I'm struggling way more. So to practice that, take once again things on one string. No need to bother crossing the strings if you do not feel comfortable yet with the picking. So you start with sextuplets. Let's take this kind of Ingve example. And you're going to do it with the upstroke. Okay? So try to really, whenever you practice something, play it starting with the down and starting with the up. Tip number 4, you want to play fast, you have to play fast, you have to practice fast. What I mean by this, and it has been proven and said by many monster players such as Sean Lane or Guthrie or all those monsters, you cannot play fast if you only practice slow. Practicing slow is very important to really integrate a lick, to be able to memorize and develop a muscle memory of a lick. But once your fingers know how to do it, you have to, as soon as possible, you have to try and play it as fast as you can. So for example, let's take short sequence like this. It's not by repeating this like over and over that you will be able to play it very fast. You need to really work up to speed. So that's the rule, because the motion is very different. Just like, and I'm saying that quite often to my students, it's just like when you're a kid and you learn how to walk and then you learn how to run. It's not the same motion. Actually, it's not, well, running is not walking faster. It's a different motion. I don't know who said that in a video. I think it might be Rick Graham, Master Rick Graham, who said it, and it's so true. The motions are not the same. And I can definitely show that if I'm playing slow. It's definitely not the same as if I'm playing. It's more of an overall ensemble of muscles and things that are working together. So practice fast. So a little bonus now, I'm going to give you a couple of exercises that will help you with picking speed. Basically, you're going to try to play sextuplets as much as you can because it really helps since there are 3 notes on one string and 3 notes on the other one. So scales, for example, it's very good, but it's very difficult to ascend without repeating the string. So like, let's take the Ionian shape, for example. If you want to play that fast, try to first use one sequence of 6 with a string crossing, starting with the downstroke, and you play it fast. And basically that's something I'm using quite a lot when I want to develop speed. I'm like repeating 2 times the pattern at half tempo and then speeding it up for at twice the tempo for like 1 or 2 reps. Same thing with descending. So another very good exercise for this is to practice on one string, the same pattern as the one I've shown, like this, but with different fingers combination. So this one, the minor second and minor third, major second, major third, augmented second, major third, diminished second, major third. And you just repeat that like 4 times, 4 repetitions of each. Next exercise is very cool for hand synchronization as well. It's going to involve sextuplets as usual, but with a shifting from one position to the other one. So if we start like this, we're going to shift here. Here, if you really want to make it efficient, really insist on the one. Another cool lick to develop the speed is to play with 4 note per strings. One I really like is to play the kind of diminished pattern like this. This really helps building speed because you always start with the same with downstroke. So this is very useful. Once again, the lick is like this. Frets are 14, 16, 17, 19. Well, that's it. So I hope those few pieces of advice will help you building your speed. Please click subscribe button and drop a like, that would be nice. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, as I'm posting a lot of things at the moment, and on Facebook. I will put the links down below. So see you very soon for the next lesson, and until then, shred on.